Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Driven Wild. Today we are talking about don't fall for this Uber Eats scam. So one of my subscribers ended up DMing me on Instagram about something he fell into recently. Lee Henderson, thank you so much for sending me a DM on Instagram and making this video possible. But with that said, he ended up in a rough situation that ended up losing him some money. So with that said, I want to go over what that scam actually was, his side of the story, how it actually is for gig workers and the company he subsequently works for, and everything in between. So with that said, let's get started. I just got scammed a few days ago on the same scam that you did on Uber Eats delivery scam. It's a messed up situation, man. Okay, so I'm not really sure which one he is talking about, but I will leave the latest video on the Uber Eats delivery scams in the description, so you can feel free to check that out as well. I was on the phone with them all day trying to get my car insurance sorted out, so my guard was down. Had no idea that Uber Eats call you, just assumed they did because they somehow knew my insurance was having issues uploading. That is really coincidental, actually. The support agent that contacted you knew that you were having insurance issues. There's gotta be an ear to the wall somewhere. I feel like he either had to know it was an issue or he guessed that it was an issue and it somehow matched up in your mind, so therefore you kind of increased the trust there. Either way, Uber never contacts you. And if they do, it's an incredibly rare occasion and likely would not be an issue about your insurance. So never give them any kind of information, whether it's a two-step verification or personal info. I asked him if he lost any money and he said he lost $167 from that situation. It's not a terrible loss, but imagine if it was somebody's entire week. That could be over $1,000. That could be even more than that. Imagine losing your entire paycheck because you trusted somebody asking about your insurance. And if there is ever an issue from the app side of things, you can always contact Uber. They can just figure it out from there. I asked him if he reported the incident to Uber at all, see if he could fight it. He said that he did, but there's not enough evidence to display that it wasn't him making those changes or withdrawing that money, which makes sense because once they get into your account, it's hard to prove that it wasn't you making those changes. If anybody asked for any kind of account information, they should already know that. They should already know about the personal information that you have on there because you needed that to sign up. Therefore, it's not necessary on your end. And I've even said, you know what, typical Uber to be holding on to that nickel. I even said that. But at the same time, I don't know how I would prove it. Like, actually speaking, really think this out. Somebody gets into your account after claiming to be Uber support. How are you going to prove that without any kind of paper trail? You did everything over the phone. Even if there was a text message conversation, it's not proven anywhere. There's no documentation. I don't know how I would prove that, and I wouldn't be surprised if Uber thought the same way. Like, there's no real way to prove it. It is incredibly difficult to get money back like that. This is my opinion. It's worth what you pay for it. None of you pay me. There you go. To be as clear as possible, this isn't a problem isolated to just Uber. Yes, the fact that it was insurance is a little isolated to Uber because Uber's the real one that's super on top of the concept of you having insurance. You know what I'm talking about? Every 6 months, they're going to ask you for latest update of your insurance. Not surprised that that became an opening for Uber at some point. But the overall concept of people getting into your account is not something exclusive to Uber. We've seen it through Instacart, we've seen it through Uber Eats, we've seen it through Grubhub, we've seen it through DoorDash, we've seen it through all of the gig apps, really. Even the ones that you probably never heard of. But it doesn't matter how much you trust them. The reality is any information they would need to get into your account, Uber as a corporation should already have that information, so they don't need you for any reason. So if there's any issue with your car insurance, you can do almost everything through the app, as far as I can tell. This was a $167 mistake, but it could have been a lot worse, to be honest. Always protect your information. Never provide that two-step verification code that they send you to anybody but yourself, and make sure you're protecting yourself in every way because identity theft is a little too common in the gig economy. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. As always, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace!